Moments with Marilyn, and welcome to my podcast. Tonight, I am so excited. On the first podcast when I was talking about with the ladies, I had my girls on here, and we was talking about tell us this and tell us that. Well, I got a phone call from my fellas, and they're like, "Girl, what are you talking about? You are crazy." And I'm like, "Come on, homies. Y'all know me better than that. I'm going to let y'all represent too." So today's topic is a man's point of view on dating. So with that being said, let me bring in my boys, my fellas, my home dogs. Say hello, Mr. Oric.
Hello. Hey.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Good.
Okay, we trying to be all quiet, not shy. Okay, what's up, Derek?
Hey, Marilyn, how are you today?
I'm doing fabulous, thank you. And hello, Mr. Omar.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing?
Okay, now you know I had to bring some of my girls with me. Nisha, say what up.
Hey, what's up?
And don't forget, everybody know and love her, aka Sister Tiffany.
Yes. It's your girl, Sister Tiffany. Just staying hydrated. Yes. Let's get into it. Woo!
Okay, a man's point of view on dating. Okay, guys. So the ladies, we had a bunch of stuff to say in the first podcast. So right now, I want to hear from you guys. I want you all to share with me a dating experience. I don't want to hear I was in love and we got married. I want to hear the juice. I want to hear the dirt. I want to hear the tea. So I'm going to start with you, Derek. Bring it on to me.
I've been on some dates, in my life. One that's particularly memorable to me is one where I took a young lady out. We did dinner and a movie, and I took her to a movie, and she got so upset by the movie itself, she ended up walking out of the movie.
Oh, wow.
So, needless to say, that kind of cut the date short because we ended up leaving, and she was upset for the rest of the evening. So I guess one lesson learned is that if you take somebody to the movies on the first date, make sure that it's something that's funny or, maybe a romantic movie, but don't take them to anything that's too serious or too heavy because it might ruin your evening.
So it was a deep movie or something?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to kind of date myself, but I took her to see Rosewood.
Oh,
and,
no. So seriously?
Listen, I wanted to see the movie. I guess I probably should have asked her if she was okay with seeing the movie. But needless to say, about halfway through, she couldn't take it anymore. So she walked out. So that kind of cut it short. So I had to go back and see it a second time on another day.
So what have been your experiencing as far as dating, with the dating scene now? I mean, is it good? And right, because right now, we on quarantine.
Well, I mean, in the COVID-19 era, I guess you have to kind of get creative as far as dating is concerned. I mean, you really don't want to, go on a blind date right now because it could kill you. But
Not kill you.
It could. I mean, listen, you go out on a date right now, you don't know that person. You don't know if they're carrying, coronavirus or not.
Absolutely.
That could kill you. I mean, just one of those things. I just prefer to talk to you from afar right now. We can Skype or talk on the phone, but as far as up close meeting, not a good time.
Okay, so Omar, come on and tell me some of your dating experiences. Anything you want to share?
I mean, I guess I can give you a bad one. The one I can just really think off my head is I went out on this date. It was a steakhouse, and it didn't go too well. The reason why it didn't go too well, I don't believe she was respected. She didn't respect my pockets. She ordered a lot, and that was a sign of it. It just wasn't going to work out. I started low and worked my way up high. She started high, and I had to let her go. That was it. That was like probably one of my worst experience. It did something to me. I have flashbacks when I go on dates. I'd be scared about what women going to order, but that's probably my worst. For the most part, my dates are pretty good. You know, I don't have a whole lot of negative things to say, but that would probably be one of my worst dates.
So, did you ask her what type of food she ate? So, let me ask you something. So, you took her to a steakhouse, and she was just supposed to what, order the cheapest thing on the menu just to satisfy you?
I'm not gonna say the cheapest thing on the menu, but I'm thinking along the lines of stay within like maybe a $20 a plate on the first date. It was like just her plate alone was $45. That was a no go.
Take her.
That was a no go.
But I'm like, where did you take her?
I don't even remember how bad it was.
Hey, Omar, was the rest of the night good?
No.
Oh, no. Did not ask that question.
Bad investment. I did not. Bad investment.
I guess you know what? We keep it in 100. That is hilarious. Oh my God. Okay, so
I don't even think I wanted the rest of the night. After that was just my heart, my soul was low. I think I really needed a Jesus moment because I was not happy that night.
wow.
I think I wound up spending like $70.
Wow. Well, I guess my thing is that you should have really talked to her more to get to know her better before you took her out to that type of a restaurant. Because to me, when you take a lady out on a date, and ladies back me up on here, you order what you want to order on the menu. I mean, is there a price point? I mean, how will we know that you have a price point of what you want to spend on us? Ladies, back me up here. I mean, what are y'all thoughts on that?
I think that you should have went to a restaurant that had a price point that was limits your price point period if that was an issue, because if I go out to eat and I don't know if you said order, you probably didn't say order what you want, did you?
Oh no.
But you would assume that me myself would have kept it reasonable anyway on the first date, but you would assume that I would still be allowed to order what I want in a reasonable amount. I mean, maybe not a $50 steak. I wouldn't do that, but it's to each his own.
Yeah.
My thing is with that, the way I do, even though I would have been taken to a steakhouse, because it's a first date, I would have asked him, "Hey, what are you getting?" And then I would have seen what his price point is. Yeah. Meaning, if his price point is $18 to $20,
right,
I may go
that's how you do it.
$3 over. I'm not gonna go $25 over just because I want filet mignon when he's ordering chicken or something. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying, Omar, and maybe she just wanted a free dinner. I don't know. Maybe you took her to a restaurant. I don't know. But I would
got me. She got me. But it ain't never happened again, though.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this.
Sister Tiffany has to add to that. Now, keep it classy, what happened to those deals? Like the 2 meals for like 50 or 2 meals for 30. I think that's always a good thing too. You take them out and then, don't make that face.
We talking about a steak. We talking about a steakhouse, not Chili's and TGI Fridays. Most steakhouses.
Right.
Is that where your first date is, Tiffany?
Listen, Bruce Chris does different specials every now and then. You got to catch them when they do that, and you got to kind of test the water, see who that person is, and their likes and different things. But there are really nice restaurants every now and then.
Duly noted.
Okay, so right now, I want to know, and I want to hear from Ulrich, my homie Ulrich. So, what is some questions that should and should not be asked on a first date? Do you have a list? Like, have some women ask you some crazy questions on the first date?
Yeah. You shouldn't ask how much I make for a living. I don't think that's too early for you to
on the
that type of information. Yeah, first date. I think it's more so you're trying to get to know that person. So I'm asking like service level questions. I want to know about your family or things that you like to do, places you like to go, things like that. But not into my income. That's kind of down the road.
Way down the road.
What about should she ask you whether or not you want kids?
Yeah, I mean that's a fair question because there's some women that don't want to have kids, and if my intentions are to have kids, I mean we're not gonna match off real. So it's a fair question.
What about should she ask you how long did your last relationship last? And why did it end? Is that an acceptable question?
I mean, you're gonna give the PC answer. I mean, you're gonna say, okay, it ended, and 9 or 10 people are gonna blame the other person. No one's gonna really tell the truth.
Hello, speak for yourself.
I mean, nobody wants to be the villain. Every story is a matter of perspective. People are gonna tell their perspective of it, and in their perspective, they're not the villain. Every story, somebody has to be the villain.
I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that because, listen, if you were in a relationship with somebody and you all broke up because maybe you smashed her sister or something like that,
that's
you
extreme,
might not want to tell that on the first date. So I don't think you're going to be too forthcoming with that.
That's extreme, man. Can you come up with another example?
Play Pete in the house.
Well, Derek, you are in rare form tonight, but I'm loving it because we want the real, raw, and relevant part of this piece. We want to know what are the issues is because it seems like it's a lot going on with the dating scene. It's a lot of single women and good single men out here. So what is really going on? There's a breakdown in communication. So what it is, we need to be honest with each other on our expectations and what we want, which is when I did my first podcast, I was telling the fellas what we want you guys to tell us. If you don't want to have a relationship, then tell us that. If you don't want to get married, tell us that. If you don't want kids, like Oric said, he wants children. A woman needs to tell him if she doesn't want any children or not.
But sometimes we don't know the answer to some of these questions on day 1, day 2, day 3. Women, you guys, you have expectations too soon. Too soon.
We ain't saying we want it with you. We just want to know what it is that you want. Whether or not we're going to even waste our time with you on a second date or anything. But it's with you.
That's the problem. That's the problem with women. That's the problem with some women. Everybody talk about wasting time with this guy, that guy. At the end of the day, if you alone 5 days by yourself, what is going to hurt you to be out on a date 5 days with somebody? Time's still going to go whether you by yourself or out with somebody, if you ask me.
I agree with Omar.
Omar, tell them how you really feel.
I'm just saying.
Honest with you. People aren't even honest with themselves. So, I mean, if you spend more time with them, you get a feel of that person.
Yeah.
A lot of times their words and actions have to align. So I agree with Omar.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of guys, the issue today is say what it is you want, popular or not, but don't give a PC answer as far as saying you want somebody who's compassionate, somebody who's caring, and then 6 months down the line, it's like, well, he was too nice. Well, wait a minute. So if he's compassionate, he's caring, and he puts you up on a pedestal, he's too nice. You should have just said, look, I want a thug. I want somebody, who I can mold, and honestly, it's just my opinion. I don't think ladies are too honest with that these days as far as telling exactly what it is they want. Say what it is you want.
Yeah, but I think it's like Meek Mill says, there's levels to it. Right? Everything has balance. It can be maybe in between, maybe extreme, maybe not so much. But once you find that balance based off of that person, you'll know how much to give them and how much not.
Right, because I agree with Oric, because you don't want to give somebody too much too soon. Especially you don't want to give the wrong person too much too soon. Everybody cannot handle your past, your present, and your future. So you need to be selective on who you share certain things with.
And one thing I want to add is this too. Let's not forget when you start asking these questions. Oh, do you want to get married? I say yes. Oh, you want to have kids? Yes. Don't insert yourself. Is it that it's going to be you? You might not be that person that I want to marry and have kids with. I mean, but we still, hanging out, getting to know each other, and we come to the realization you not that person I want to share that with. So don't come at me sideways talking about, but you told me this and you told me that. Yeah, but I ever said it wasn't you.
Well, let me ask you this. When you say you answer those questions, do you not think, with you study hanging out with that young lady, that you giving her the impression that she probably is in the running for that, or could she be that person? Or are you being honest with her and saying, hey, we're just hanging out as friends? I don't see you in that light. I don't see you romantically. Are you telling her that? Or are you just, going out with her, making her think what she want to think?
So the true question, what you should be asking is,
No, I asked the question I wanted to ask. Are you telling her the truth?
Hold on now. Now, hold on now. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm getting at. So if I'm going out with you continuously, I'm not trying to lead you on. I'm doing the initial steps of getting to know you. Now, however you feel on that journey and what you feel that you might be that person, that's on you, because we haven't had that discussion for you to even think it's you.
Are we talking about exclusively dating or just casually dating? There's totally that's two different things. Are we talking about exclusively or casually dating? If we just hanging out, going to the movies, then no, I wouldn't expect you to be my future husband, because we have not had that conversation. Which leads me to the next question. Who should bring up the question, bring up the topic on whether or not you should exclusively date or not? Should the man ask the question or the lady ask the question? Fellas, I want to hear from you.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a matter of if it's supposed to be the man or if it's supposed to be the woman. I think, honestly, if you're the type of person who knows what you want, and you feel like you're ready to take that next step, then that's when it would be up to you to say, hey, let me talk to you about something that's really been on my heart, been in my mind, and I'm feeling you. I really like you, and I just want to know, where are we? What is this? What are we doing? It just really depends on the person, But honestly, it comes down to, like I said, you have to kind of know who you are and what you want. If not, then you'll be sitting there saying, you know what, I really like this person, but I don't know if they like me. So I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see if they say that we should take it to the next step. No, if that's what you want, say what it is you want. That way you don't have to worry about that person wasting your time. If that's what you want, that's not what they want, then now it's clear you don't have to worry about somebody's time being wasted.
Okay, ladies, I need to hear from y'all. Nisha, would you ask a man that you're dating whether or not are we going to be exclusive or not?
I would, if I was at that moment. I mean, at that time, if I was feeling that way, then yeah, like I agree with Derek. It's not a matter of who should do it, whether it's man or woman. It's where you at in that relationship, and if you're feeling that feeling right now, and you want to know that answer to the question, then you ask the question. So,
Tiffany, would you?
I definitely agree with what Nisha had expressed as well, because I know, like, I in my past, I didn't even know we was in a relationship. I thought we were just kicking it, and I wanted something serious. Next thing I know, I'm rolling up at a family reunion and being introduced, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute now, wait a minute, And then there's other people. I be like, man, I want to be at that family reunion. We need to go to Tiffany and Companies and all of that, and then I'm like, well, dang, are we in a relationship? So yeah, I need y'all to tell us that.
And see, with me, I'm sorry, ladies. I think that the man should present that. That's just me. I would pace the relationship on how it's going, but that's just not my personality to ask a man, are we exclusive? I would ask him what we're doing to clarify, are we just hanging out, or are we working towards something? But so I won't misunderstand whether or not we're just hanging out as friends, because I have a lot of male friends who I hang out with, and I definitely know that they're just my male friends, meaning we're not snuggling, we ain't kissing, We ain't doing none of that. I may talk to you about my other guy friends or relationship problem that I have, which I have done and got some great advice from my friend Ulrich. Thank you, boo. I would not do that, but I would ask what's the situation is and whether or not we're just hanging out. But I don't think I would present to a man who I am, whether or not we're going to date exclusively or not. To me, I think that's something that he needs to present to me because that means we're choosing each other at the end of the day. But I want him to choose me first, and
But Marilyn,
that's just my thought.
but
That's just
Marilyn,
my thought.
aren't you actually doing the exact opposite? You saying you would leave it to the man, but you saying you would say, hey, what are we doing? That's going to open up the conversation right there to figure out if you guys are going to be exclusive or not.
Well, in a conversation that I would do, which I've had done in the past, like I've asked, well, I know I haven't asked. So when a man presents certain things to me, like if you flirting with me too much and we supposed to be friends, I'd be like, okay, what you doing? Are you playing with me? What's going on? What are you doing? What are your thoughts? And he may say, well, I'm kind of feeling you. Feeling me in what way? I mean, are you trying to date me? Are you just trying to be my friend? So I can set those boundaries of friendship and dating. Meaning, I don't kiss and snuggle with my friends. I'm not going to do that with my male friend. I would do that with somebody who we're pursuing a relationship with. That's why I would get the clarification. But for once we in a dating relationship, I'm not going to ask the man, are we going to be exclusively, when are we going to be exclusively dating? Because we're dating, meaning he's dating other people, I'm dating other people. And if I see you out, I have no right to say anything to you because we have not had that conversation that we exclusively dating. Once we have that conversation and I see you out in the street with somebody, it's a different story. We're going to have a whole nother conversation. But until we have that conversation, it's fair game. I can see whoever I want to see. You can see whoever you want to see.
But I don't think this matters.
That sounds good, but I don't think in reality. I mean, think about it. Okay,
that's the way I roll. I'm just saying the way Marilyn rolls.
Derek, let me help you out.
I've never asked a man, "Are we exclusively dated?" To me, I think the man present that to me.
I agree with you.
Chime in real quick.
So I mean, you're saying friends. Those are just titles. Y'all not really friends. The only common interest you have is each other. You're just trying to make yourself feel better about the friendship or relationship or whatever. But it's not necessarily a friendship. Y'all just interested in each other.
Okay, I'll take that.
So, and I'm chime in just for a second. In reality, is most women bring that conversation up sooner than men because one, in most cases, after a man and women date for however long, a lot of time a woman her emotions start to get involved, and once her emotions get involved, that's when she want to know what's going on. That's when that talk come about. Men on the other, it's a few of us out there, I can't speak for everybody, that might catch emotion and get into their feelings pretty soon. However, we are more reserved. We take a look at so many different angles. Women, you get caught up in the moments, at the moment, and before you know, you thinking he could be the one, but you're just not sure just yet, and then that's when you want to bring up that talk. Now, in your case, Marilyn, where you think all the men should come with that, guess what? If you leave that up for a man and y'all never had that talk, and like you say, you can't be mad if he's out and about, well, in his mind, Marilyn ain't say nothing, so we just kicking it. We're gonna go.
Well, Marilyn ain't gonna say nothing. I mean, that's just me. I'm not gonna say nothing, and that's because we're not exclusively dating. So if we have not had that conversation and we're not exclusively dating, then I'm not gonna say anything, and he can't say nothing to me either.
Well, I mean, when you exclusively dating, it don't necessarily, you don't have to have that discussion as like, we in kindergarten. Exclusively.
No, I think we do. Ladies, do you all think we need to have that conversation? Because first of all, I'm stingy. I ain't trying to share my man. I'm sorry. If we're exclusively dating, that means we're working towards a marriage or we're in a committed relationship. We're working towards that. Meaning, I ain't trying to share you with no other woman. I don't want you going on no date with no other woman. I don't want none of that. Only person you gonna be dating is me.
Guys,
Me, myself,
guys,
and
help,
I.
guys,
That's your
help me out
past.
real quick.
That's your problem. You bring your past into a current relationship.
No,
Guys, help
Worried
me.
about being
that's not my past. That's my future, my present. I'm saying I don't want to share no man with nobody. Meaning,
Hey,
I'm exclusively dating.
I mean,
I'm just me
the
and
only
you are just dating. We're dating. I'm not dating you and him and him and him.
Well,
hey,
let me
guys,
ask you this, Marilyn. So if it's left up to us, and let's say 6 months go by and we haven't said anything, then what?
she gonna be looking like boo
And
boo
you know
food.
what? My thing is with me, and women are very emotional creatures. I see you laughing, Nisha. They let me have anything. You know, my sisters are
There's
like,
that they
everything.
There you go.
They know better.
Laughing. But you know what? I can handle all of y'all. But my whole thing is whether or not 6 months go by, I'm gonna tailor my feelings accordingly and my emotions accordingly. I am not gonna go all in with dude until I know what he's presenting to me. So
Okay.
that's how I would handle it. Now, how anybody else would handle it, I have no idea. But Marilyn's going to handle it differently because I'm going to go all in emotionally. Oh, Google for Cocoa Puffs, thinking that he's my future, he's my husband, he's my man. None of that because he ain't shown me that.
Well,
Until he
typically,
shows me that I am the one, or he says you are the one, I want to take this further with you and let's exclusively date, meaning the two of us to say we're going to work on something to have something and see where this goes. Until then, I'm not going to assume anything because you know what? An assumption gets you wrong every time and it gets your feelings.
You don't have to assume. You can ask.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, would you? Okay, Nisha, you said you would ask, but this is Marilyn.
No. Okay, with me, with my personality, I probably would not ask unless I really.
Exactly. I'm just listening to you. I know you
What
ain't
you're saying is, you saying should it be man or woman? It doesn't have to be a man. It does not have to be the man's position. It depends on the person in the relationship.
But
and
would
how
you
y'all feel
ask?
if you want to know.
But would you ask, Nisha?
If I wanted to know. If I got so curious to where the relationship was at a point to where I needed to know and I was ready, then yes, I would bring myself
What
to
she's
ask,
trying to
even though
say
it's out of my
is,
character.
what she trying to say is, she's all in her motions.
She answered Omar.
Exactly.
I'm clear. She said
Hold on now. Hold on. Don't cut me off. Hold on now. All I'm saying is this. What she's saying, she would ask if she was curious. And what she mean is, if she was all in her feelings and in her emotions, it's time for the questions to come. That's what she's saying.
How she got to be in her feelings? How come she just don't know? How come she just can't want to know?
And listen, I'll be honest with you. If I'm kicking it with a a young lady, and let's say it's been 3 months, right? We've gone out on some dates, we've hung out, we might have done a little something.
I was about to say, did you put your hand in the cookie jar?
And listen, if I see her out, on a Friday night at Applebee's in the corner booth with this other guy, although we haven't determined what it is, I probably will have a couple questions, the next time I see her.
Yeah.
Or delete a number.
So
you know what, Derek, you're right because that actually happened to me. I was kicking with this guy. We were just friends. I thought we were just friends. I was telling Tiffany about it.
Nobody asked questions.
And he rolled up on me. I was with somebody else, and he came up and spoke, and I spoke back because we're just friends as far as I know. Because dude didn't say he liked me and he was into me or he was interested in dating me. He playing it all cool. So men, y'all don't tell us a lot of things too. How y'all really feeling sometimes when y'all know y'all like a lady, just tell us that. So he rolled up on me.
We going Dutch then.
And so I spoke back. The next day, it was a long conversation. And then all of a sudden, he wants to spend time with me. He calling all the time and everything. And the only reason why I got that attention because he saw me with somebody else. So why is I got to be with somebody else for you to appreciate me when you had me? You had me in the beginning, and you could have shown me that you was interested.
Yeah,
so
but why does his
why do
words
you
have
all
to
do
rhyme
that?
with that? shouldn't your actions align? If you're interested in somebody, that should be the person that you want to be with. If I'm interested in this one person, I'm not going to be out with somebody else. I don't have to have a conversation about that. If I'm digging you, I'm digging you. If I'm feeling you, I'm feeling you.
Dating means you're dating.
Nah, see, nah. Listen, Marilyn, the moral of this story is this. For us guys, if we consistently try to spend time with you, we consistently spend money on you, and every time we turn around, we trying to do something with you, that's our exclusiveness right there. That's
I get that. But see, again, that wasn't not my situation. There was no consistency in nothing there. So therefore, Marilyn did what Marilyn had to do. Once he saw me with somebody else, that's when he wanted to consistently do something. And soon when he consistently did it, he dropped off consistently again. So, you know, it's like
I can't speak for that, brother.
Understand what you all want and y'all presentation to a woman as well. You know, it just ain't the woman. Y'all always want to blame the woman, talking about, well, we don't know what we want. We know what we want. Most women want a committed relationship. We want someone who to love us and respect us, and we want marriage, and we want a good husband. And ladies, am I right or wrong?
That quickly, if you was feeling the other
ladies, am I right or wrong?
How'd you find somebody that quickly and you was feeling the other dude? You didn't take
sorry?
time out?
I didn't hear you.
How did you date somebody so quickly?
First of all, I wasn't dating. It was somebody that asked me out, just asked me out. We were just hanging out. We wasn't on a date. We was just actually hanging out, having a conversation. Hanging out. So it wasn't, I didn't consider it as a date at all.
That sounds fishy. I don't know.
No, whatever.
There's not enough details. It's hard for me to come up with
a Let's move on.
There's some details missing.
Agree on that topic. Let's just move on. So the next question is, no, we moving on. Enough for me. So the next question is, why is it men, don't call when you say you're going to call? And where's Manisha?
What?
Where's Tiffany? Why men don't call when they say they're going to call?
We're having technical difficulty.
Okay. Anything could possibly happen. That's crazy. I'm going to call exactly at 7 o'clock. My house could be on fire.
Well, let me just say this.
We ain't talking about stuff like that. We talking about when y'all say you guys gonna call, y'all don't call.
Are you talking about after a first date?
Just period.
Man, we don't know.
Man rule to wait 24 hours to get a phone number. We're not gonna call right
I can't hear you. What you say?
I said after we get a number, or do we already have the number?
After you have the number, when you guys are communicating, and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna call you such and such," and it'd be a week later.
It'd be a week later. He don't like you too much, Miss Man.
Thank you.
Hey, I
ain't on this other date.
Hey, I was just like, I don't know what type of man you dating, but you know, if I say I'm gonna call,
that ain't the type of man Marilyn date. Believe you me. But I'm just asking a question because these are questions. These are questions of the dudes of a relationship. When they say women are saying the men don't call when y'all say y'all gonna call. So why don't you all call? So that was a question. That was one of the questions.
Okay, one of the questions.
The other question is, okay, Nisha, I need you to mute real quick while Tiffany's helping you. The other question is, fellas, why is it a good idea to talk about your ex? I want to hear from Ulrich.
Go ahead, Ulrich.
Repeat the question.
Is it a good idea?
Boy, you heard that question.
Omar, I need you to mute because I can hear you. Ulrich, is it a good idea to talk about your ex?
No, talk about your ex. That's the first thing to piss another woman off.
Exactly. Thank you. There was another thing that some of the ladies were saying, that you guys want to talk about your ex. And if they're still
talking about it, that means they're still hurt from that last relationship. They haven't healed yet.
Absolutely. So what would you consider a healthy relationship?
Well, nobody don't go to jail. That's a healthy relationship.
Why would you go to jail?
That That's ghetto love there.
Going to jail.
Love is love, man.
That's that love after lockup.
You can find love in prison.
So, okay, let's go over some signs of a healthy relationship. First of all, I need to know whether or not my ladies got anything to add to any of this conversation.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Y'all, Nisha, Tiffany, y'all got anything to say?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to mention exes on the especially not on the first date. I mean, nobody wants to feel like they're being compared to anyone else. But then also, you know, I mean, we all have our own baggage, and you know, in order to have something new, you know, we gotta let that old go, you know. But it's that one day at a time, y'all.
So I just want to comment real quick. It just all depends on you and that person. You know, sometimes a woman might ask you what happened in your previous relationship, or a guy might ask you what happened in your previous relationship. You only, you know, you selectively share whatever she asked you. You just don't, you know, take it upon yourself to just go deep into your past relationship if she didn't ask you about your past relationship. Because some women want to know, you know, what are some of the things that went wrong? And if you say, well, I wasn't the best communicator, then she might ask you, have you worked on that? Or that's something you're still working on. So some women do that. So I'm not going to just say, no, you should not talk about your ex or your relationship. You just answer, you answer whatever question she asks you about, you know, your past, you know, respectively. That's my input.
I also want to add to that, because have y'all ever, you know, this is for males and females, so have you ever been around somebody and you're dating and it was like, yeah, my ex did this and my ex did that, and then come to find out all the stuff that they said that it was really them, and then you was like, oh Lord.
Yes, too many times.
Right?
Listen, I've been in scenarios or some relationships where you know, the woman would talk about all the things that the ex did to them and how they treated them, and but then as you go along in the relationship, you kind of see certain things. You're like, well, wait a minute.
It was you all along.
But it really seems like it's you that's kind of like this. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, as you get to know somebody, you kind of see like, after a while, you're like, maybe your ex wasn't so bad after all, you know? It's like, maybe it was you.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Should you not, what is a good question to ask on a first date is, how long was your last relationship?
That's fine.
You better ask that question, because they might still be in that relationship.
Exactly.
Tell us that.
Exactly. My point exactly. Thank you, Tiffany.
What, Tiffany? You said something there.
No, negative.
What'd you say, Nisha?
I said she said something there.
Yes, she did. I wish I had some tea so I can sip on the tea after that one. Okay, so ladies, what do you want? Y'all done heard the fella say. Okay, so Omar, you mentioned that on a conversation that we had. You mentioned that the ladies want Morris Chestnut looking kind of guys, men with all this money and all that stuff. So ladies, do we have unrealistic expectation on what we want from a man?
No, we do not.
We don't.
Okay, some do, but this one don't.
What'd you say, Nisha?
I said some do. I agree. Some women probably do have unrealistic requirements and lists, but this one don't.
Absolutely.
What?
Tiffany?
Go Cowboys!
Oh, ain't no cowboys in here. Ain't no cowboys in here. So what? Okay, Tiffany. Do we have unexpected requirements for men?
No, I don't. For me, no, I don't believe so.
It's per person.
I mean, now I used to. Now, you know, if this was like 10, 15 years ago, yeah, I'm almost telling my age. But I previously had unrealistic expectations, but now in this season that I'm in and where I'm at in life. And no, mine are legit. They're not unrealistic.
But do you think the majority of the women do? Omar was saying the majority of the women that we want these tall, dark, and handsome money
Well,
men. I mean, do
hold
you
on,
all think that?
hold on now. Hold on. Let's
I got the
recap.
tape.
Yeah, that's fine, but you got me live. So, and that tape is outdated. So at the end of the day, let's do
No,
this.
the tape ain't outdated. In fact, everybody gonna hear your comment.
Listen, when I say unrealistic, there's different scenarios that I'm making reference to. Sometimes you guys can have unrealistic expectation in the front on the first couple of dates, and then in general, some of you guys can have unrealistic expectation. Like I said, I mean, I have a lot of female friends. We have these discussions, and I mean, they want their guy to, like I say, look like Maury Chestnut. Some of these movie stars, they want them to have the money, they want them to have the house, they want everything well put together so they can have a sense of security if something goes wrong with them. They want to feel that, oh, if I lose my job, he'll be able to handle this. Y'all want everything almost to be on the guy, but why can't it be what happened we lose our job? What happens, something happens on our end? I mean, we can look at it the same way.
Well, that would be an exclusive relationship or a committed relationship, not just a dating relationship.
But it doesn't matter if it's dating or exclusive. If most people, if you're sorry while dating, you're gonna be sorry when you're exclusive.
Well, I'm not. First of all,
You're right about that.
he's exactly right about that. But my whole thing is, I don't think I need to share my finances and all my stuff with you when we're just kicking it.
Well, I'm not saying that you have to, disclose all your finances and your credit score or anything like that. But my thing is this: when you start dating, you're gonna get to know someone, as time go on. But at the end of the day, some of you guys want things so well put together instead of getting to know that person and understanding why that person in that situation and trying to come up with an ideal situation where you guys can build it together and both parties benefit from. See, some of you guys want a guy where his credit score already 750 to 800. But y'all don't want that guy at 550, but then you don't take the time out to figure out why it's the 550. Maybe his ex ran it down. You never know. He was probably helping out. You don't know the situation.
I believe there's a story to every situation.
Always.
And my whole thing is, I think the ladies, and I said that on my first podcast, we need to bring something to the table as well as the man.
Yeah.
The man is the head, the leader, and he's the provider. At the same time, that does not just mean money when we say provide.
Say it one more time, Marilyn.
Huh?
Say that one more time so
I said
everybody.
that does not mean money.
We heard
it. Say provide. So I think that.
Say it again. I hear you.
Write that
Say it
down.
one more time.
Y'all heard me. I said that does not mean money when we say provide. I think the ladies, if you want a man to have a 700 credit score, then yours need to be 700. If you want him to have a nice house, nice car, a good savings, then you need to bring that to the table as well. Not expect a man to carry you. A woman's supposed to be a man's helpmate. She cannot help him if she's broke, busted, and disgusted. Vice versa. So it's whoever you choose. That's why we need to be selective in our choice. So let me ask you one more question regarding the dating. Right now, because of the social distancing and everything, and the COVID-19, do you all think online dating has increased?
Marilyn, yes. I definitely believe, I was reading the article that the online dating has skyrocketed. But before we dive into that, I want to comment on one thing you just said, like how you said, both parties need to bring something to the table. The one thing you just stated, that what can create these unrealistic expectations, when you measure where you at in life and what you accomplish, and then you want that person to bring the same or at least a half of what you have. But the thing is, you don't know their journey, so they might not even have half of what you have or what you have. That's how the unrealistic expectation is created, because you evaluate what you accomplish in life, and then when you want anybody else to come into your life, you want them to be on your level.
They don't have to be. When I say that, I mean we ain't talking about no broke, busted, and disgusted person. And here I am. Everybody has their struggles. Everybody has their starting over point in life. Meaning, I've been there, done that. Where I've had to start all over. Because of my industry I work in, laid off, galore. However, I can do bad by myself. And that's my mentality. Meaning, if you need help with your credit, I do credit repair. Booby, baby, let me help you fix your credit. So if I got a 700 credit score and you got a 550, okay, I do credit repair. Let's pull out your credit report and let me help you, because I see the potential in you. But if you sitting up here just don't want to do nothing to better yourself and want to spend all my money and want to move in my house, and want to sit on the couch and play video games all day, then you ain't the one for me. I'm not talking about those type of people. I'm talking about people that really want something. And I think that's where it comes in at. A lot of women do want to come up with the men. And a lot of men, I hear a lot of my girls talking about too, that their man, all he want to do is live off of them. She got to have you look for a job today? No, ain't nobody hiring. What are you really doing to help yourself? I think that's an individual thing. But at the same time, I think we need to be equally yoked in various ways of a relationship.
Tenfold, I copy that.
Absolutely. So again, I mentioned about the dating scene, the dating sites. You guys said that the dating sites have skyrocketed. You said, Omar. So
yeah, I was reading an article.
You read an article. So would you guys go at this point with COVID-19? Would you guys go on a dating app or why not?
No.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
It's 2020. Susie might be Sam, and I don't know, and I can't tell over the dating site. So I'm straight on that.
Oh, you crazy.
I got you. What about you, Derek?
I mean, I wouldn't say that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that for me personally, I don't like to do the dating sites. It's kind of like always said. I just think there's a lot of fakeness out there.
You found that. Okay. What about you, Omar?
For me, I mean, I'm not opposed to the dating website or anything like that. But I mean, with the COVID, I mean, for me, I'm not against meeting someone out in person. It's one of them things. I understand the magnitude of COVID, but I can't.
No, Omar. What'd you do the dating site?
Wow, never mind. You answer for me then.
No, I'm saying yes or no. What'd you do the dating site?
I said I'm not opposed to it.
Okay, so you would do the dating site. That means yes. Okay, cool.
What about I wasn't opposed to
Tiffany? At this day and age,
no. COVID-19 or not? No. I'm a face-to-face person. What you're doing? What did Oryx say? Sam might be Susie, and
Susie may be Sam.
I ain't got time for that. Listen.
No, answer is no.
To the no. Tell us that.
Tiffany say, tell us that. I believe.
Honestly, I feel like dating sites are the easy way out to me.
Yeah,
I just feel like just going out, meeting people, being able to say hello. That's more of my thing.
Yeah. I want to meet somebody organically. I just want that organically thing. So I wouldn't do it at this day and age. But
I know some people that do it because they like homebodies. So it's just
to each his own. It's nothing wrong with them. It's nothing wrong with them. To each his own at this point. And due to the social distancing and everything, we do have to be mindful of all of that. So are you guys staying safe and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doing good?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we're good.
That's awesome. Well, guys, I want to thank you all so much for joining me on another episode of Moments with Marilyn. I want to especially thank my guys. I know this was something that you guys really don't like to do, and y'all did it just for me, so I feel special. So thank you, Omar. Thank you,
No problem.
Derek, and especially Ori.
We're never
Thank
doing this again.
I really appreciate it.
All right, man.
And of
Y'all have a
course,
good one.
my girls, Tiffany and Nisha, I really appreciate you guys. So I continue to stay safe, check on your families, do what the social distancing thing or whatever they're telling us to do. In the meantime, let's continue to lift up everybody and pray for those who've lost loved ones. I know a friend of mine, several friends of mine have lost people to this, and I know my condolences to you, Derek and Oric, for loss of friends and family as well. So, guys, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay informed, and God bless you. And remember, in all things, do give thanks. Love you guys. I see y'all later.
Bye.
Oh, and fellas, I still talk to y'all. Bye.
Bye.